You're listening to another ASCI Lounge podcast.
Welcome back to the ASCI Lounge. I'm Monique Fennick from Australasian Supply Chain Institute, and joining us on the ASCI Lounge today for this podcast is ASCI CEO Ivan Imparato. Welcome back, Ivan.
Thank you. Welcome, everyone. I'm glad to be back on the lounge again. Awesome.
It's exciting, isn't it? Because we're really growing. Tell us all about some of the new members that has joined us.
Yeah, sure. We've had Roy Hill, who are iron ore mining organisation, which are very proud to have them on board. Kinchrome, Tools and Equipment, and also Clean International, who are a manufacturer. So welcome to the new members, and also like to welcome back Cochlear, Boric and USG Boral to the family. So yes, the community is growing. It's great to see, I think, because we need the community, don't we, to make everything.
Yeah, that's right. Absolutely right.
Absolutely.
And now we have more corporate members than individual members, which is great to see that corporates are really investing and demonstrating commitment to their supply chains.
Absolutely, and I think that's where we need to be, and it's all about growing our community and our industry. You know, one industry, one voice, obviously, is the catchcry, yeah? The catchcry I've been talking about over the last few weeks. So.
Yeah, it is, and it's been, a big year of one industry, and there's been a lot of opportunities and challenges for supply chain. How would you summarise that, Ivan, for when you reflect on that?
Well, yeah, I suppose the year isn't finished. I suppose we're only, end of October, but you're right. Look, for me, I think ASCI 2019, if I can start with that, I suppose we've had really, really good feedback and some great ideas that we can build on for future years. But for me, Melbourne, the Pullman on the Park, great location, great 2 days, the representation across many industries. We've had about 240 attendees overall, I think bigger than last year. The streams were very engaging, great topic speakers, quite interactive. The awards was our opportunity to recognise human excellence, and obviously we had a bit of fun as well. Some of the things that came out again and again were ethical procurement, sustainability, very popular topics. The panels were awesome, some great discussion around capability and the skills that we need into the future, and demand planning, data, visibility, agility, the usual suspects of discussion was all over again and again over the 2 days. So I'd just like to thank everyone for all their efforts and in preparation and doing the conference. And I think it was, it made it successful. So that was ASCI 2019. But I think during 2019 itself, we've certainly I've experienced what I call this vortex that I don't think we've felt before. I suppose we're not spiraling down, we're sort of spiraling up, right? We're sort of heading up outside what we call our safety zone, so we need to be we need to adjust a bit more. And because we're getting seen and we're getting heard by the organisations, they want us to add more value, so we need to be ready, and I think we can. And as we continue our journey to professional supply chain management, I think we need to encourage everybody to come on a journey with us and take that leap of faith and supply chain community as we build the one industry, one voice, right? So, but as ASCI's been working very hard to raise the profile of supply chain management. And yesterday I was lucky enough to be part of a panel where I presented at CeBIT in the CBD in the city, and it was all about the future of work and Industry 4.0. To a mainstream business audience who probably not used to hearing supply chain strategies, but I was lucky to see a couple of faces in the crowd that I could recognise. So that was good, and it's great to see audiences getting an interest in supply chain as well. And why is it so important to raise the profile? I think it's important because we know the power of supply chain strategy and an effect on competitive advantage, and we have to take that opportunity to grow. And now it's our chance to recognise and to get recognition and to get that prestige, I suppose, that we that we deserve over the time. And so that's the why. But how do we do that? Well, how do we do it? With ASCI, we've been running quite successful leadership series over the year, and we've had some great leaders talk in the panels and to help us understand some of those challenges that we're heading towards and some of the experiences that they've had, but also the breakfast series, the site visits, the roundtables, been very successful, and all of that, the whole package, will continue in 2020, and I'm excited to be part of that growth and the community, as we said before. We keep growing, and that will continue for us to be seen and to be heard.
Yeah, it's really exciting, Ivan. It's a great summary of this year, 2019. It was a big year for supply chain, and we're not finished. We've got a few months to go. They're very busy months for supply chain and logistics professionals. So what can what can they be doing now until the end of 2019 to really focus on and make sure they achieve before the end of the year, do you think?
Yeah, you're right. It is a busy time, but it's also time to reflect and I suppose take time out to plan. And I suppose some of the learnings out of ASCI 2019, the learnings out of this leadership series of breakfast around tables, you'll be able to package a plan and execute some of those ideas and opportunities into 2020. As part of that package of ideas, is my favourite is capability development. I keep banging on about it, and I'm not alone. I mean, yesterday at the panel, there were a lot of questions around challenges of getting the right people, the right skills. The answer is to build capability within Australia and retain it and grow it, so we grow the industry, right? We see so many times that organisations seem to go outside our shores to get people they need, and it's about time we invest in our own talent and develop and mentor and retain them in Oz here for the benefit of the supply chain community here in Australia, which ultimately will benefit on a global scale. And ASCI's professional development program gives members that flexibility of training packages, all to enable that addressing those skill gaps and apply the best practices across supply chain management. So I encourage everybody out there to just take a bit of time, reflect, build a plan, what I call a talent management plan, and address those gaps in 2020. And we're here to help. We've got a lot of options around certifications, either it's through self-learning or guided learning or other options that we may be able to customize. So let's continue on that journey up the vortex, right? And
that's right.
If we're serious about it, about capability, and it's time to reflect and put together a plan.
Yeah, that's right. And if they were to focus on something in 2020 in those different capabilities areas, what do you think are going to be the hot topics and the hot spaces?
I was lucky enough to talk to another gathering earlier in the week where the consensus around that discussion was about planning, and regardless of what industry, whether it's financial, human resources, supply chain, whatever it may be, planning came out very strong as a capability. And as you know, we've received some initial results from our State of Supply Chain Management survey, which shows that maturity and confidence in automation is starting to improve. So what we're seeing, what we're hearing, is that they're getting more confident and more, there's more take up on automation and analytics, which is great, because then you got that coupling between planning and automation, which is a great vehicle for the future. And now the next steps obviously is to better utilize the data that you have, because without data you have nothing really. And using these streamlined processes to provide that consistent, accurate information to enable the organisation to make those decisions. And again, supply chain takes that pivotal function in the organisation to achieve those outcomes. So does that sort of answer that?
That's great. I think
planning, data,
that is a focus for everyone.
Planning, data and automation, I suppose, together, and of course, capability. But putting that aside, planning data and automation as a vehicle for next year. And just to finish off, Monique, I just really wanted to spend a couple of minutes just to take a moment and recognise the immense effort and passion, I suppose, that our volunteers have been putting into the journey, if you like. I'm talking about those professional committee members and the chapter members who are out there who have contributed towards our vision. So they are, without a doubt, the backbone of our accreditation scheme that we're developing and will continue to develop. And they've been doing some great work. So I'd like to say thanks to all of you, and you know who you are. And I personally, and when I say I personally, I include yourself, Monique, I include the whole team at ASCI Central. Is that a new one? There you go. ASCI Central.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, the whole team at ASCI Central would like to thank our volunteer committee members and chapters. And let's continue this amazing journey to professionalise supply chain management. So for those of you who are out there that are passionate and about your careers and in the industry, then get involved. It's a great time to get involved. Join the committees, join the chapters. We have vacant roles available. So, you can make your mark in history and in establishing what we're building, this accreditation scheme for supply chain management in Australia. So please get on board, and I look forward to working with everyone.
Thanks for joining us on the ASCI Lounge today, Ivan.
No problem.
Sounds like it's going to be a really exciting gear up that vortex.
Yes, that's right. Thanks very much.
Okay. Thanks, members, for joining us, and bye for now.